Welcome to High School Backups Podcast. My name is Nick, and this is episode 70. I know the episode after the nicest one ever. We have many more to go until we get a little bit closer to our 2-year mark. But in the meantime, we have NBA free agency keeping us busy. So, first things first, moving into our kind of different things that we have to talk about. There's a lot of things that happened at the NBA draft. NHL free agency really started to kick off. NBA free agency really started to kick off with a few massive trades, including the Celtics making a pretty big splash. I would say it's a pretty big splash, personally. As well as a few other things. We'll end it all off with a nice little game created by our own Kyle, as he likes to make those for us. So let's just start off quickly here. I'm not sure what debacles go on with the jerseys other than the Bruins have the best jerseys in the league. So go ahead, Kyle.
For those unfamiliar, every single year the NHL does a lot of warm-up specialty jerseys. Hockey Fights Cancer, Military Appreciation Night, and Pride Night are the three big ones that the NHL usually does. Recently, the NHL, this past year, there was a lot of issues with the Pride Night jerseys, as a lot of players didn't want to wear them, so a lot of teams decided to just cancel their nights on a whim. Which was a really bad PR nightmare for the NHL. While that happened, the NHL decided to spontaneously get rid of every single specialty night jersey starting next year. And it's caused a big little stir on Twitter right now because a lot of people are like, well, is it just going to be Pride Night jerseys that they don't do? Or is it going to be the Hockey Fights Cancer jersey and Military Appreciation Night jerseys and stuff like that? The big issue that I see with it is all the proceeds from those go to charities that help people with those that help people. So I don't know why the NHL wanted to do it. I guess they just wanted to kind of avoid PR nightmares. So that's really the only thing I see with it. But that's the current debacle at the moment, Nick.
Fair enough, and we'll talk about the other piece because I think there'll be a little bit more to talk about in the middle here. The NHL awards were last night. Correct me if I'm wrong. The only award that will not be happening that did not happen last night, that'll happen tonight, is the GM of the year, or are there a few others?
I think the GM of the year actually is actually coming soon. So they wasn't officially announced last night. So I'm not sure if there are any others. I don't believe there
I'm sure
are.
we know
And
it's gonna be. I mean, one of the best regular season of all time. You kind of are signing up for a lot of awards.
So yeah, there isn't any. They don't have the official announcement yet, but the Bruins GM is one of the nominees. So
for the wins.
Absolutely. I will be shocked if he doesn't win it.
Have the most wins in history. That makes sense.
I mean,
did y'all see the Bruins head coach's speech after he won Coach of the Year?
Yeah,
it was really
about,
awesome.
Alcoholism and stuff like that.
He did. Yeah, he was. It was his acceptance speech was really cool. Also, shout out to Bergeron winning the Selke Trophy for his 6th time. That is an NHL record.
Well, Hall of Famer, first ballot. Don't at me.
Jake, you're 100% right. So
first ballot. Fine. First ballot. Don't care.
I don't think anyone is going to disagree with you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anyone who would be crazy enough to disagree.
I'm sure there's people.
Probably.
I mean, whoever the petty motherfucker was that put McDavid at 5th instead of 1st, or in some ways 2nd, so he didn't get a unanimous MVP, was kind of fucked. But
yeah, I saw that. Bro. Not only did they just not put him at 2nd, they put him all the way at 5th. That's absurd,
bro. Oh my lord.
Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about some of the trades that happened in the NHL. Kyle, I have some in front of me. I'd love to go through them and get some of your input.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to start with, actually, we're going to skip a few here, such as Provorov, which we already know that happened. Let's just skip right to just after Olofsson that happened about 2 weeks ago. We'll skip right to 3 days ago. This one's not a huge one. I guess it was. I know we talked about it a little bit in the group chat. I saw you on Twitter riling up some Twitter peoples. Ryan Johansson goes from the Nashville Predators in exchange for Alex Galchenyuk over in the Avalanche. So Ryan Johansson joining the Avalanche, Kyle. I know what your opinion is from Twitter, and again, you getting on some kids' cases. What do you think?
I was very open about my opinion on this trade. Absolute shambles for Nashville. The only plus side that Nashville has here is that they cleared up cap space. They didn't even clear up all cap space. They still have to retain 50% of his salary. Colorado, on the other hand, fills their void of a second line center after losing Nazem Kadri. Ryan Johansson was on pace for 60 points last year until he split his leg wide open. This is a clear, absolute win for the Avalanche. Like I understand like the points that Nashville was making here. Like I see the attempt they were making. Don't think they got fair enough value in return. Alex Galchenyuk has been bouncing around from team to team for the last 5 years. He sucks. He's like the if you look up what a bust is in the dictionary, you'll see Alex Galchenyuk's name written into it. Like that.
Also
that
might
is
see
what.
some not safe for work things. So we'll move on to the next trade.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kyle, I'm not sure how much you care about this one. When I saw it, I didn't think it moved the needle too much. But Arizona Coyotes receive Sean Durzi for a second-round pick in the next year's draft from the Kings. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was more of a great thing for Arizona. I think Sean Durzi is going to become their top line defenseman. After trading away Jacob Chikrin, I was kind of like skeptical of what their plan was. Defensive, whatever. It's Jacob. All right, he will always be Jacob.
I'm joking.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it is Jacob. Actually, I don't think.
I know. I know it is. I'm just joking around, dude. Go for it.
But ever since the Coyotes traded away Jacob Chikrin, they didn't really have any like good defensive prospects to fill that void. So they just decided to trade for one because they can't develop people for shit in Arizona. So
well, you know, they have to have a stadium to do that, and we're dealing with that.
Instead of a college thing. Yeah.
The next two trades, I'm not to say I really don't think there's a ton to talk about. There's a pretty obvious reason for why they happened. So, in short, the Bruins traded Nick Foligno and Taylor Hall to the Blackhawks for Alec Regula, Regula, I was right, and Ian Mitchell. They did downgrade in talent there as a obvious cap dump, and then they had another small, I think there's more of a roster spot than cap, but they sent Shane Bowers for Riley Walsh with the Devils. So, I don't know. It just seems like they're cleaning up roster spots.
I was just gonna say,
with it.
Also very clear cap space is the clear move here. I know we talked about it in our group chat that I think Taylor Hall could have gotten they could have gotten a little bit more for him. Instead of just two, because like the biggest thing for me is that the two people they got are restricted free agents right now.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're gonna sign them, or they'll sign them to minimums. Like,
yeah, so I think they could have gotten like a draft pick for Taylor Hall, to be honest. But like,
I mean, they did, right? There's previous draft picks, so it depends how you look at it. Anyways,
I guess.
Fair
enough.
Perspective.
The next trade, which was a pretty big one. There's two big ones and one medium one, depending on how you look at it. The St. Louis Blues acquired Kevin Hayes from the Flyers, Kyle's old alma mater, for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, Kyle played for the Flyers.
A 6th-round pick for Kevin Hayes seems a little low, but
it does seem low. However, I think that is a very undervalue. The problem is Flyers retained 0 salary. So because the Flyers didn't have to retain any of his salary, that's like $8 million that they just got to throw at St. Louis, essentially.
For the worst team in the league. Got it. Also,
enough,
the Bruins also retain no salaries on those contracts.
Yes.
So
fun. Kevin Hayes is my birthday twin, so I wish he was still on the Rangers, but that's okay.
That's okay. Anyways, two more here. These both happened today. This one, I'm going back and forth on how much it actually moves the needle. Montreal Canadiens acquire Alex Newhook from the Avalanche in exchange for Yanni Fairbrother and a 1st and 2nd-round pick in this year's draft in just few days or a few weeks? I know it's pretty.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, well,
actually, it's tomorrow.
So yeah,
this move is wild to me. This
I feel like a lot. Like I feel like
it does feel. Montreal is banking on Alex Newhook actually like performing. He kind of struggled in Colorado. He wasn't quite living up to the name that everyone thought he would. Montreal is really hoping that he will. Kind of like what was going on with Nick Suzuki in Vegas. When Nick Suzuki was traded from Vegas to Montreal with Max Pacioretty in that trade, Nick Suzuki was still kind of like young and no one really knew what he was going to be. Now he's the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. So it's kind of like, I think that's kind of the plan Montreal is trying to do here again, like trying to see what Alex Newhook becomes, and hopefully he becomes a good player that he was drafted to be.
Yeah, and probably the biggest trade, in my opinion, thus far in these last few days. The Kings acquire Pierre-Luc Dubois as he's traded for, the second offseason in a row? From the Jets in exchange for Gabriel Velarde, Rasmus Kapari, and Alex Iafallo, and a second-round pick in next year's draft. I'm sure he's very happy to be leaving the Kings for the Jets, right?
You mean leaving the Jets
for
the Kings?
Yes. I meant that as I said it, but not as I said it.
I was actually talking with everyone while I was researching the trade, and I immediately go, both teams are losers in this trade. One, Winnipeg is like purely gearing up for a rebuild, which I don't think they needed to, because they've already talking about trading away Connor Hellebuck, who's their goalie. They're already talking about trading away Mark Scheifele, who's their franchise center. So like, there's been a lot of rumors floating around Winnipeg. They're just about to blow it up. This trade kind of solidifies that they really are like about to blow it up there, which I think is stupid because I don't think they needed to, but whatever. I'm not the GM in Winnipeg, so but the main reason I think it's a loss for LA is they gave this guy $8 million. I don't think PLD is worth $8 million. I think that is a lot for him.
Yeah, it's a lot. I do agree with that. And I did want to talk about this briefly as well. So both the first and second All-Star teams were announced yesterday, Kyle. Oddly enough, if you look a little deeply into it, there is 3 teams. So there are 12 spots in these teams, right? There are 3 teams that cover 6 of the 12 spots. Can you name the teams?
Can I name them?
Yes, without looking.
Bruins have to be 1.
Yep.
Lightning probably are on there.
No.
What?
Do you know these teams?
Do I know the teams exist? Yes, I know the teams exist.
Who are on the teams?
No, I didn't.
We'll talk about
I didn't see.
But anyways, this was announced yesterday. So Bruins are right. You still 2 more.
Don't know. Like how many players are from each team? Like, are you mean here?
3 for the Bruins, 2 for each of the other teams, and each
probably
of which are 1 on first, 1 on second.
Probably the Oilers have to be 1, right?
Correct. Yes, and it'd be really hard not to choose the 2 players.
Yeah, those are pretty obvious. There might even be a third, really, because if you think it would, Zach Hyman didn't get on there. Wild. That's stupid, but anyway. No shot they're considering the Rangers, right?
They are the Rangers. The Rangers is the 3rd team that had
Let's
2
go.
teams.
Let's go. All right.
Who the 2 players were? I'm sure you'll get it pretty quickly.
Adam Fox has to be 1.
He's the first team player.
Yeah. I don't think Igor was going to be on it. There were 2 goalies better than him this year, so probably
was better than him this season.
Yeah. So it's got to be Artemi then.
It is Artemi Panarin at the left wing spot on the second team. Can you guess?
Let's
know
go.
The first 2 in David Pastrnak and Linus Allmark, who got the first team All-Stars. Can you guess the Bruin on the second team All-Star? I will not give you a position. But
you won't give me a position, so I have to fucking I have to guess.
You have hints on you are ever told you 2 people on the second team.
Okay, so you said it was Pasta and Linus, right? You already said Pasta and Linus.
The first team. I'll tell you the whole first team. How about that?
All right, go for it.
Pasta, Connor McDavid, Jason Robinson, Linus
Jason
Allmark,
Rob? Okay.
Adam Fox, Erik Karlsson.
Okay.
That's the first team. And I'll tell you, on the second team, at left wing you have Artemi Panarin, on center you have Leon Draisaitl, and at goal you have Ilya Sorokin.
So he could be a right winger, so it's not going to be a right winger because the only really good right winger from the Bruins is Pasta. Like, I don't mean it like that came out, but that's fine. I don't, Jake. I know. I see you eyeing me there. I didn't mean that the way it came out. So don't.
I think I know the answer already. So I'm sad that you don't know it already.
Is it? So it's got to be a defenseman, but who the hell could it be? Charlie McAvoy?
It is not Charlie McAvoy.
Okay,
it has to be Hampus Lindholm then.
It is absolutely Hampus Lindholm.
That is wild to me.
What's more wild is the fact that we talked about how good he was this season. You didn't give him credit.
I didn't.
Crazy.
I didn't.
In all fairness, he was the fourth of the top four defensemen. Can you name the final defenseman?
Well, it's got to be Cale Makar, right?
Cale Makar. And the final player on the second All-Star team, the right winger, Kyle, best player in the playoffs.
Stop it. I hate this man. If it's him, I'm going to punch my brand new monitor. It better not be. It better not be Matthew Tkachuk.
It's absolutely Matthew Tkachuk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk. Best player in the playoffs. Okay, wow. That was an unplanned segment that went absolutely amazing.
I was not expecting that. He just threw me there. Oh, man.
Well, I'm so happy. I don't even care about the other three. I'm just happy Matthew Tkachuk's on there because God knows he got Kyle to be wearing a hat, which will be coming soon. Maybe I'll wait till football season. It'll be even funnier.
No.
We'll see. I have to order it, and it might take time to get here. That's all I got to say. So.
Man,
wow, that was amazing. I'm so happy. Also, Kyle, kudos to you earlier in the season calling out Jason Robertson. He got first team and he played well.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe you couldn't think of your own team.
I did. We sucked so bad in the first half of this year. I didn't think they would count us. I'm sorry.
Amazing. Anyways, there is some soccer news that came up in the news over the last week or so. Andrew, go ahead.
So starting in 2024, the United States is going to host Copa America. It was last held in America in 2016 for its, I think it was like its 25th anniversary or something like that. It was a certain number that they decided to bring it in. The country that was supposed to originally host it was Ecuador. They had declined it, that they wanted to host it. So then the United States offered up a spot. They decided to accept. The conference that wanted to host it said yes. So now it's moving in from originally it was like we'll host 16 teams, and it usually only held like 12 teams, 10 teams, 10 to 12 teams from the other conference. But now that it's adding 6 more teams in, it's opening it up a lot more. So that will be in the summer of 2024. And then in 2025, FIFA decided to change its Club World Cup edition to 32 teams, which was originally hosted during the winter time, to now be placed in June to July, starting in 2025. And the now host nation is going to be the United States. So there's going to be more soccer in the United States leading into the 2026 World Cup. So then this also means that the Club World Cup is also now changing to a 4-year standard instead of an every year standard where they would play every year, having all the teams around the country being able to play. So now it's being opened up for a 4-year rotational plan and allowing more teams to kind of be able to watch these international clubs be able to play all together in one going.
Awesome. That's amazing. So what do you think, Andrew? If I had to ask, what do you think does this have positive, impact on USA and their soccer, right? And like their kind of the fact that it's like the 4th or 5th most popular sport. What do you think it'll have as an impact?
I really think that this can make a huge jump for the MLS in general. But like I think we've discussed in the past, I think with the MLS having such a pay restriction on what they can and can't do for players, I think that deteriorates some players coming to the United States to play, and the other stuff that has to do with the behind the scenes looks with amongst it. But I do see this as a chance for more teams to kind of expand out, kind of make more connections with these other international clubs, and hopefully be like a prospect club team to kind of branch out to these international teams and be like, hey, you gave us some young players that you want to have start developing. You loan them out to us for a certain period of time. We can loan them back. Then we give them back to you at the end of their contract or their loan contract. It could help grow. And I think it could bring in some big stars that we could potentially grow into huge stars going back into European soccer. But I mean, I think this is great for the United States to be able to host all these countries and all these teams in the next coming years, especially leading into the 2026 World Cup.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, I know that we've talked about it, and it's not really a joke, but I think our goal will be to go to the World Cup game, especially because there's going to be some going on in Gillette, close to all of us.
I think we might be able to reach out to the 2024, 2025 games as well if we really all wanted to go. I think there's going to be the 2025 People Club World Cup. You're going to see a lot more big star power coming in from all these clubs. And then you're also going to get a lot of like South American teams and then North American teams playing against each other in 2024. So that'll be a great competition to watch. And I think it'll be a great way for all of us to kind of just enjoy it all.
Certainly. I have not watched professional soccer. Most I've watched is college soccer, so I would love to see in person, I should say. So I'd love to see some in-person matchups, that's for sure. Awesome. Well, getting into our major debatable topics today, we're going to start hot and fresh on the NBA. I guess it's weird. So what really happened, the only deadline that happened was free agency deadline where people had to pick up their options or not. And that was sometime last week. And that created two major trades that we are going to talk about. One of which does involve the Celtics, and we are going to start there. So, in a three-team trade, the Boston Celtics traded Marcus Smart to the Memphis Grizzlies. They then traded Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and Julian Phillips to the Wizards. The Memphis Grizzlies also sent Marcus Sasser and a first-round pick to the Celtics. They sent Tyus Jones to the Wizards, and the Wizards lastly sent Kristaps Porzingis to the Celtics, as well as a 2023 top 4 protected pick that Golden State Warriors are
2024.
It says 2023 on here, but you're right, 2024. So I read correctly, but it misinformed.
You're good.
So, what that really means is that the Celtics trade away Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis and 2 first-round picks, which is pretty remarkable value for a dude who didn't win Defensive Player of the Year this year, rather won it last year and showed some clear regression. Although he is the heart and soul and we all love him, it definitely it feels like a positive move, at least to a lot of Celtics fans. So let's start there. Let's talk a little bit about this. It is something that we did quote-unquote call last week. Definitely not this package. We were expecting more, or I guess less on the back end, or less up front and more on the back end. We'd give away more and receive less, but here we are. So what are your thoughts?
I think I have to start with the fact that I definitely would have preferred a Malcolm Brogdon trade over a Marcus Smart trade. Obviously, the Malcolm Brogdon trade that was the initial trade fell through because Brogdon's got some elbow issue.
Well, so do you want to hear the actual reason why?
I thought he had an elbow issue. Yeah, please go ahead.
So yes, that is correct. But the doctors that the Clippers were going to send were not going to get there soon enough for the midnight time frame.
Yep.
Bro.
So
that's annoying. Okay.
Malcolm Brogdon will be healed in 4 to 8 weeks.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. I'll take it. I still would have rather a Malcolm Brogdon trade than a Marcus Smart trade. But no, I mean, it's overall positive. I know some people tell me that this is stats without context, but you're trading a guy who averages 11-4 or 11-3-5 for a guy who averages 23-8. Kristaps Porzingis, from what I believe, was an all-star last year. If he wasn't, he was at least an all-star caliber player. And they get pick 25 in 2023, which they subsequently traded for multiple second-round picks over the next few years. I think they acquired 4 or 5 second-round picks, and Jordan Walsh from
It
Arkansas?
is Jordan Walsh. That dude is
Jordan
a
Walsh,
beast, by the
yeah.
way.
So they end up with a bunch of second-round picks, and so essentially take pick 25 and change it into 4 or 5 second-round picks, and the top 4 protected from the Warriors in 2024. They won't be picking in the top 4. With how small their basketball team is, I wouldn't be surprised if they were picking in the top 15, but they won't be picking in the top 4. They still have Steph Curry. They would be fine. I think the Grizzlies got a perfect Grizzly player in Marcus Smart, if you know what I mean. Like, I know he's the ultimate Celtic, but he also screams grit and grind Grizzlies. Like, does that make a lot of sense to people?
I would 100% agree. Yep.
Yeah.
The Wizards are, in rebuild mode. They get Danilo Gallinari coming off an injury, Tyus Jones, who's not great, and Mike Muscala. Okay, whatever. And I'm pretty sure they traded 35 away. They might not have, but I'm pretty sure they did. So, yeah, I mean, it's a win-win-win, honestly, from all sides at that point, because I think the Grizzlies upgrade. Plus, they get a guy who can fill in for Ja for his 20-whatever game suspension, which I don't know why the NBA kept us in suspense for that. That wasn't long enough to keep us in suspense for all that time. And the Celtics get the big man that they need, who's 7'3", 240 pounds, and can go get boards for Tatum and Brown. And the Wizards are in real build mode, and anything they do at this point is a positive step in the right direction for them. So, win, honestly.
I completely agree. On that specific note of that, I completely agree. I think that they got some really good value for Marcus Smart at a time where we don't really know what he's going to continue doing. You could go back 2 years from now. He could go and do exactly what he did this year, which wasn't exactly amazing. And at times was not exactly what we needed. It felt like Derek White really filled that what we needed spot. So I do think that Kristaps Porzingis is a huge grab for the Celtics. But furthermore,
Yes.
the extra 2 first-round picks is absolutely ludicrous, in my opinion, that you were able to get Kristaps Porzingis and 2 first-round picks for
Yeah.
Marcus Smart and a bunch of guys who either didn't play last year or were like 12 through 15 guys. Gallinari would have played, but he was hurt. So,
Yep.
yeah, it sucks for Gallinari, who was a lifetime Celtics fan, who was excited to play and then gets traded before he could even play a game. But
I would not be surprised if the Warriors waived him. I'm not going to lie to you. Or the Wizards, sorry, not the Warriors.
yeah, they might, and maybe it comes right back. That would be hilarious. But
I just wouldn't be surprised if they made that move. Again, they're in rebuild mode, so having Mike Muscala and Danilo Gallinari make no sense for them. But
definitely. Austin, did you have anything to add on any of that?
Yeah, I would say, number one, I think the Celtics had to do something. Obviously, they didn't want to get rid of Marcus at first. And I think him and Brogdon bring different things to the floor a little bit. Like they're very similar, but also at the same time kind of like a good amount different. So either way, they had to do something because running it back every year was not going to get them there, I don't think. And yes, I know they made the NBA Finals the year before, but that was, I wouldn't say it's a fluke, but it was more of a right timing for them for that season. And we see how hard it is to run stuff back the next year, no matter who you are. Like, look at the Bucks and other teams. So I think they need to switch something up if they want to go win a championship. As Brad Stevens said, they were looking to balance the roster better. They had way too many guards, just clogging up that area. So I like this. I like how I think we're getting all of Marcus Smart's trade value now, where I don't think we're getting that in another year or two. I don't think he ages well because of how he plays, the way he is, his body type as a guard. He's gotten better as a shooter, but he's not a phenomenal one. So on the Celtics side, I think that's great. And as you said, Nick, getting 2 first rounds, I was never expecting that. And so for the Grizzlies to give that to us to show that we were able to capitalize on that, we definitely don't get that, in that first trade. So I think that Malcolm Brogdon not being able to clear on time was actually a good thing for the Celtics. We'll see if that turns out. If Porzingis doesn't stay healthy the whole season, then obviously we might be looking at this different at the end. The Wizards got Tyus Jones, who I actually like a lot. I know in the NBA circles that he's actually a huge player that most of the teams like. And you actually saw that a lot when Ja Morant was out last year, that he was able to help carry the team, not necessarily like from a stats position, but being a very solid point guard who could run it for you. I think that's someone that the Lakers may be looking at to kind of solve their point guard problems. I wouldn't be surprised if they did because he doesn't quite fit the timeline for the Wizards. But either way, they got a nice trade piece again if they wanted to move him. And in the end, they're just trying to get rid of stuff, get rid of contracts, get some assets for the future. So they did that. I think, yeah, overall with that, I'm just excited to see what the Celtics do. Getting that Warriors pick, I think, is huge because, yes, they're going to have Curry, so they'll be semi-competitive, but getting rid of Jordan Poole and some of these other things, Clay aging, Draymond definitely aging, they may be closing in on the rebuild for themselves, and if it goes wrong next year, we could have a really nice pick. So I think that's
Well,
huge.
The tallest player in their starting lineup is going to be fucking 6'6".
Yeah.
Didn't Draymond also not sign a contract extension to?
He's probably gonna
But he's gonna take a smaller pay cut. Supposedly that's what I heard he wants to do to kind of help with the team's rebuild.
Well, they have
Yeah,
to
we'll see.
because of the next trade that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Two notes, one of which I'm going to save for the draft portion. Jordan Walsh is a dog, a bald dog. And we're going to save that for a draft portion, which we'll talk about coming up.
Yep.
Second piece here is that it is well believed that the Celtics are not done for the distribution purposes. So
Also, Nick, one last point on that Celtics trade.
Yeah.
As a Celtics fan, I'll love DeMarcus Smart. We are grieving.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
all,
We absolutely love Marcus.
we are
Nothing but love.
bittersweet.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, it's bittersweet in the fact that we are sad that he is gone. In a few years, it might be looked at as one of the best trades ever or one of the worst trades ever, and we're gonna find out.
Yep.
But, it's a chance that you feel like this team had to take to maybe win a championship. Maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
I still feel bad if we do go and win it this year. I'll be like, damn, sorry, Marcus.
Couldn't get Marcus one.
Nah, they'll get their one together. When his contract
Hopefully.
will come back.
When Marcus Smart comes back in 2 years.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Okay. I do want to take a brief pause before we talk about the other trade here. Some news did come out a little bit earlier today, and I just got a notification that reminded me of it. Ryan Mallett, ex-Patriots drafted quarterback, and played for a few different teams in the league. It did pass away. I think it was today or yesterday. He did drown in some sort of accident while he was in Florida. So certainly a rest in peace for Ryan Mallett. Not someone you would consider a game changer in the NFL, but certainly someone that you knew as one of those journeymen who always put his best forward and spent years in the league for a reason. So it's never fun to hear of anyone passing away regardless of their impact on the league. So rest in peace, Ryan Mallett. There's really not much else to say to it, but hope and prayers always with his family and those around him, his friends, his family. Yeah, so just want to take a second to bring that up. Let's talk about this other trade. So, this other trade was weird for me.
Yep.
It was kind of a two-piece deal. So, there's kind of two layers to this trade. So the short version is that Bradley Beal went to the Suns for Chris Paul, and of course there were pieces as a part of that. So let's read through those pieces. So, technically, there is a draft asset that was included in this, what is now a finalized crazy trade. So, in a three-team trade, this is a mouthful, so let's see if I can get through all this here. In a three-team trade, the Indiana Pacers traded Bilo Coulibaly to the Washington Wizards. He was drafted on draft night. It was all very weird how they didn't handle that. Well, they did, but didn't. The Phoenix Suns traded a 2028 second-round pick to the Indiana Pacers. That person was selected. I don't know who that is. It doesn't have it listed here.
Jarris Walker.
Thank you. The Phoenix Suns also traded Cash, Chris Paul, Landry Shamet, and a 2024 first-round pick. Who I don't know who that pick is either. And a second pick. And a 2025 second-round pick. And a 2026 first-round pick. And a 2026 second-round pick. and a 2027 second round pick, and a 2028 first round pick. This sounds about right. And a 2030 first round pick, and a 2030 second round pick to the Washington Wizards for pretty much Bradley Beal. The Wizards traded Jarris Walker and a 2029 pick that was later selected to the Pacers. And last but not least, as a part of that, the Wizards sent Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, and Isaiah Todd to the Suns. Wow. That was
Okay,
tough.
you are combining these two trades, which I was
Yes.
not prepared for.
So
But okay.
I wasn't either, but it's how it's written out in front of me. So
Okay.
because technically it's how it was finalized. It was all added into one giant clusterfuck of a trade. So
Okay.
the short version is that Bilo Koulibaly is at the Wizards. There's a shitload
Yep.
of picks, and technically Chris Paul and Landry Shamet also went to the Wizards.
Yes.
As a part of that deal, Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, Isaiah Todd all went to the Suns. And then on top of that, what was the? Oh yeah, the Pacers got a bunch of picks as a part of this deal, and Jarris Walker, right? That's everything.
Yes. I'm
So-
also gonna complicate this trade even further.
Okay. Go ahead before I say the last.
Because Chris Paul also got sent to the Wizards
Yes.
for Jordan Poole and
So
all
he got
this
sent to
other
the
crap.
Warriors.
Warriors,
So
sorry.
as a
Warriors,
part,
sorry.
as a technically separate from this, but also a part of it, the Warriors did send over, Jordan Poole and a few picks or something like that for Chris Paul to the
Yeah.
Wizards. It's a clusterfuck. There's like literally these two trades alone have like a ridiculous amount of picks involved. It's like Rudy Gobert all in 3 trades. There's a lot going on. Yeah, Chris Paul's is so essentially Jordan Poole is a Wizard, Chris Paul is a Warrior, and Bradley Beal is a Sun. That's really the main point of all of this. There's a lot of picks.
Nobody cares about anybody else
Yeah.
on those. And that's it.
I'm gonna break this down by team if you don't mind, Nick, when I go into the analysis here.
I would be happy to. Let's start with the Suns because ironically that is the most simple of the trades here. Suns have a big 4. What do you got to say?
I think we talked about this last week a little bit, like just in the Suns context. I don't love it because I don't know who's going to play extra minutes of basketball for them. Like, you can't have 4 guys playing 36 minutes and expect them to be healthy all year.
So
And,
really,
don't go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
I was sorry. I just want to say really quick on that point. Colin Cowherd had a great point last week when the trade first was announced. He said, "Who won the NBA Finals? Was it the Big 3 in Denver, or was it Denver's bench?" So do keep that in. Which I found hilarious as an argument.
I mean, I would argue that there's a big 1 in Denver and the rest of the team stepped up.
No.
But
Jamal
like
Murray.
Jamal Murray.
Ah.
I'm not trying. Big two.
at the very
Sorry.
least.
And then
Anyway,
you got Bruce. Then you got
continue.
okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that part.
For the record, bench matters, and I don't care what Colin Cowherd has to say about that. And Colin Cowherd can come at me if he wants. For the record, Bradley Beal, yes, he can ball. I think there's just too many touches of a basketball that need to be happening here. They're going to have to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. We talked about it last week. If they don't, I mean, fine, but I don't think he's going to be happy. I think he's going to be a problem. Locker room wise, not like on the court, but locker room wise, he's going to be unhappy. I'm interested to see if this works, because if it does, there's a whole new way of playing basketball, and it's the next version of whatever the big 3 was in Miami, and now we have a big 4 in Phoenix. But also we know that Bradley Beal doesn't stay healthy that long. He didn't play many games last year. I think he played 54 or something like that, and he hasn't been healthy for a couple years. I'm interested to see who plays the 1. I think it will be Devin Booker. I think I said that last week, but they don't have a traditional point guard at this point, which Devin Booker can fill that role. I don't think it's his best role, but he can. I'm interested. I'm very intrigued. That's really my analysis on that. I don't love the fact that they don't have a bench, but I am intrigued.
I agree. I think that they have to figure that out. That's their biggest issue. They have so it's a brand new owner, right? The Suns just got sold. They have like $500 million paid out to just 3 players over the next 3 years.
And they don't control their own first-round pick until 2031. That is 8 years from now. This owner said, "Fuck them picks."
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on here, but it could go well. It could go well.
This is literally the Brooklyn Nets on steroids when they did all of that. Like, honestly, which is funny because they kept doing it even the last few years. But this is crazy.
Also, sorry to cut you off, Austin. How old are Kevin
No, you're
Durant and
good.
Bradley Beal now? They've got to be in their
I'll
like
look it
early
up.
mid-30s, right? Kevin
Yeah.
Durant's like
Durant
almost
is.
35.
Kevin Durant is 34. You're right on
Yeah.
par.
Yep.
Bradley Beal
He's
is
32.
29. He's a little bit younger, so he's still got
Wow.
time.
Oh wow, I thought Bradley Beal was older than that.
I knew he kind of wasn't, but to me, I don't know, but they should be really, really good. And if they're not, then
Yeah.
the Suns failed. So that's really what my mind's at right here. So
I am here to say they will fail. Not necessarily that they won't be like a decent regular season team. They will not win the NBA Finals. I'm just saying that now. We'll see how that statement goes out, but I want to put it on the tape.
Bold.
I don't even think they make it out of the maybe they make it to the second round, but I don't think they make it to the finals. Anyways,
okay, wow.
I think
okay.
at this point, the question really is, do you have anybody who can guard Jokic? And if the answer is no, I don't know if you win in the West.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I did want to, because there is a few other things we want to talk about with it.
Yeah.
I did want to quickly. I don't know if there's a lot to talk about with the Wizards that we already haven't talked about, which is the fact that they're heavy rebuilding and they have a buttload of draft picks to do it. So I think they played this very well.
Pick up Jordan Poole, which I don't mind for them.
Who
They get a shot chucker while they rebuild. It's fine.
Who did they draft?
They ended up with Bilal Koulibaly.
Koulibaly,
That's it.
Yeah. No, they had other
had a
draft
few
picks.
other picks there. I don't have it all, but Bilal Koulibaly was the main one.
Here, I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, just quickly look it up because I actually don't think I'm trying to remember who they because I thought about this when I saw it on draft night. I don't think they're going to be as bad as people think they are going to be. I like.
They get Bilal Koulibaly at 7. They end up with
they got so here's the thing. They got Jarris Walker,
Tristan Vucevic, and they traded Tracy Jackson Davis to the Warriors, so they only had the 2. So they got the Koulibaly guy, and then the guy at the back end.
And Walker.
No, so Walker went to
Indiana.
Indiana. I messed that up. But they technically drafted him. But they got Koulibaly instead of Walker. They got Vukovic, and then they got Tracy Jackson. So they didn't get a lot, but they have a lot of young pieces that they can let fester.
That's right. So, I mean, I forgot that they got rid of Walker, and I think if they had kept Walker, it would have been more. I don't know how well Bilal will be, but if he's because he's a center, right?
He's a forward.
Forward center. Yeah, he's a big man anyway. I think Jordan Poole, along with Tyus Jones, and Jordan Poole can kind of like keep himself under control a little bit.
He is a small. He's a 6'6" small forward.
Okay, so never mind. So he's not but he's a bigger guy overall. At least a wing of some kind. Compared to how he is, I think they can be like kind of like a Orlando or something else where they will be fun to watch and could potentially be, and depending on what their veterans are, they probably sign for a little bit of money just for the next couple of years while they keep rebuilding. They could be stingy and a little annoying to some of the bigger teams might just sneak in. That's what I think.
I don't know, man. This team lost the 3 core pieces of their basketball team and then added Jordan Poole. I don't see them being very good.
Here's the honest opinion of me. I think Jordan Poole's cool. I think he's be here for a while, whatever. Koulibaly was the guy who played with, Victor Wembanyama, who spoke very highly of him, as teammates should. Very well could be good. We'll see.
That's what I'm saying. If he's decent, and you put, like I said, I really like Tyus Jones as a solid, just good point guard.
You have a pretty
to hold down that
small forward if he plays well. So that's really what it becomes.
Right.
So. And then last but not least, again, we'll keep it short. The Warriors technically ended up trading for Tracy Jackson Davis, who we just talked about, and Chris Paul in separate trades. So I don't really know what the hell is going on with the Warriors. This Chris Paul, they're playing very small, and I think we learned pretty quickly that's not how you beat the Nuggets. So I don't know what the plan is there, but
I mean, they may just be going to outshoot everybody. No, I don't think so. I'm not in love with the Warriors roster as it is currently constructed because your starters currently are Paul at the 1, Curry at the 2, Clay at the 3, Wiggins at the 4, or Kuminga at the 4. Do they still have Jonathan Kuminga on roster?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe so.
And then Draymond at the 5. I think that might be one of the worst lineups in basketball defensively and rebound wise. Like, yeah, you're gonna put up points, but you can't stop anybody.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know.
if I'm the Celtics, I'm letting Kristaps just go to the post and make Draymond's life hell.
Yep. Pass out of
Like,
there and we're good.
if I'm the Nuggets, I'm letting Jokic work Draymond for 48 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen.
That's
He's
the
putting up
analysis.
60
Like,
if that's the case.
if this team is close to 500 or below, I wouldn't be surprised with this. Like, I just
I hope
wouldn't.
they get 5th in the draft lottery. That's all I care about. So,
Yep.
anyways, yeah, we don't really know what's gonna happen with that. We're eventually gonna do as it gets closer to the season, an actual our game where we kind of guess where people end up in the standings. But as of right now, it's very interesting. It was a very interesting draft and a very interesting start right around the draft there with all those trades. So speaking of the draft, let's talk a little bit about it. I know that we kind of set it up as we want to do some winners and some losers. I will start this off with a very easy one. Biggest winners, in my personal opinion, were the Spurs drafting Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, it's a dub.
Dude's absolutely disgusting, and we assume he will continue to be such as they go through and, rebuild around him. They've only ever had 2 first overall picks previously. That was, you guessed it, Oscar Robinson, and then does anyone know?
Oh, you mean the guy that the Celtics were supposed to get, Tim Duncan? Yeah,
exactly. Anyways, point being, they had 2 extremely Hall of Fame level players inducted into the Hall of Fame, and therefore they're hoping this will continue as such. Will it? We'll figure it out.
I mean, they get Wemby at the W. That's absolute W.
Yes.
Nick, do you want us to switch off between winners and losers here, or do you want us just to go in order? What do you want us to do?
I have a loser, so if you want to do a winner and a loser, I'll do a winner and a loser, that type of thing. I have a loser right
Yeah,
away.
I'm down for that.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I'm definitely pulling an underestimation thing here. I think the Pistons drafting Asor Thompson at 5 overall is a bit of a loser scenario here.
Yep.
I don't love it. I know I looked at draft grades and we were talking about this last week. He was technically rated 5th, but if we're looking at like fit and so on and kind of what we're looking at here, I don't love it with the pieces they've previously drafted in the last few years. So that's kind of where I am at. I think he's a good player. I don't know if this was the smartest idea for what they already have.
I'm with you, Nick.
Is the biggest one. So,
I mean, he's the second version of Jaden Ivey. He's literally Jaden Ivey. Both of them are ball handlers who can't shoot.
yeah.
I would say the same thing for Amen Thompson and Houston with the amount of guards that they have. But I totally agree, Nick.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can go with we each do 2 if you want.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I mean, you already said the Spurs, which I think is a big W. Okay, this is going to be so controversial. I'm actually going to say the Charlotte Hornets are big winners from last week. So, not just for the Brandon Miller pick, which I think Scoot Henderson is better than Brandon Miller. I said it last week, and I'll stick to that. But it's the combination of Brandon Miller getting Nick Smith Jr., who can fill in the Terry Rozier role. Terry Rozier is still on the team, but once Terry Rozier is gone, I think Nick Smith Jr. has a lot of upside. Probably is a lottery pick if he doesn't injure his knee last year. Arkansas was looking to be a lottery pick and just fell all the way to the Hornets at 28. And then they also picked up James Nnaji, who the Celtics actually traded them, James Nnaji, and that is a big man that team needs. He's about 7 feet, 240 pounds, and they've been looking for a traditional center forever. LaMelo has always liked to play with traditional centers. He said it. They've been looking to partner a traditional center with LaMelo forever. He's a lob threat. LaMelo can throw some alleys to him. And that combination of getting Brandon Miller, who I think can be a pretty decent wing, maybe a top 10 small forward in the league at some point. I think Scoot's better, but you know what? You pick Brandon Miller. You think the fit was good, whatever. Getting Nick Smith Jr. and then also getting James Nnaji is a big W for the Charlotte Hornets.
I can agree to that. Add on the fact that they're bringing back Miles Bridges to add into that roster that actually brought them to a playoff picture run-in or a play-in that game.
Yeah, so, I think as long as LaMelo stays healthy, they'll be.
Well, yeah, as long as this team stays healthy and they get the best out of them, and getting them that traditional center is what they really need. You're adding Miles Bridges back, who had great chemistry with LaMelo in his rookie year. I think you're gonna see a huge underdog rating from the Hornets going into next season.
Yeah, and my biggest loser is actually going to contradict something I say later, but it starts with Damian Lillard. We all know that Dame wants to compete now, and if the Trailblazers wanted to do that, which they keep saying they do, they would have traded out of the number 3 pick and tried to do something and make that work and get a bona fide top 25 player now, and they didn't do that. They probably could have gone and gotten Kristaps Porzingis with the number 3 pick. That would have helped them immediately. They could have gone and gotten a pretty elite wing for the number 3 pick. That would have helped them immediately. And instead, they go and pick Scoot Henderson, which I'm not dogging them for, but for Dame specifically, Dame is the biggest loser.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I'm going to go against you a little bit here, but not exactly. I actually think that the Rockets are one of the biggest winners in this draft, not because of Amen Thompson,
Okay.
but because they got one of the biggest steals in the drafts in Cam Whitmore at 20th overall, which is absolutely disgusting.
Absolutely. Yes.
I think he was supposed to be, top 7? Like he
was supposed to be a
pretty
top.
high.
Yeah.
And he fell all the way and slid all the way down the 20th, right where the Rockets probably could have drafted him at 4, and people would have been like, all right, like that's not awful.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they get all the way at 20.
I projected him to go to the Rockets at 4, literally last week.
Yeah. So that's my biggest winner.
Yep.
Biggest loser, also Cam Whitmore. He got shifted of a contract. I don't know what the difference is in the NBA between
$4
5
million.
and 20, but it's
$4 million.
Huge. Yeah, he lost $4 million. So I'm happy for the Rockets. I'm pissed for him because he lost out on $4 million. So there you go. There's my biggest winner and loser for that.
Yep. I could go the Portland Trailblazers here. They are one of my winners. I'm not going to go that route. That was the contradiction for Dame earlier. I'm actually going to go with Derek Lively the second here, getting traded from the Thunder to the Mavericks. The Mavericks, first and foremost, need a big man. Again, a great lob threat down low, can go get boards, great defender. A guy you can pair with Luka on the floor and not have to worry about spacing issues, and Luka now gets a lob threat. I think Derek Lively is going to thrive with the Mavericks. My other biggest loser also happens to be a Trailblazer, Anthony Simons. Bye-bye. He's lost his job. Scoot is taking his job. Done deal. The Portland Trailblazers have way too many guards, and obviously Scoot is now going to be looked at as the guard of the future there. And I think you have to move off Anthony Simons for Scoot to realize that potential. Scoot will play alongside Dame just fine and be an alternate ball handler and a guy who can run the offense when Dame leaves the floor, but Anthony Simons has got to go at this point. So Anthony Simons is a loser because he lost his job.
I think Dame's getting traded for the start of the season.
I don't know.
I really
I think
so.
the Blazers want him. I don't think he wants to be there. I'm not going to do
But,
big loser or big winner here. A very small winner, and yes, I am slightly biased. Celtics get an absolute dog at 38 overall in Jordan Walsh. We're talking about a McDonald's All-American here just a few years ago. And furthermore, he played on an underrated Arkansas team last year where he's so aggressive. And honestly, I think he's going to push Tatum a little bit. And I don't mean he's going to fight him for his job. I just mean that his aggressiveness and ability and want to push the hoop is only going to make Tatum kind of utilize those skills. So that was super exciting for me after catching some more highlights. So that's my one little extra notable thing there. Also, he looks like he could fucking kill me, so that's where we're at. Anyways, anything else, Jake, on the draft?
No, I mean, we got it all. I think I like your Rockets being winners here. I don't necessarily agree because I don't think Amen Thompson's a great fit at 4.
I think they're half winners. I think they
getting Cam Whitmore at 20 is a huge deal.
What the for. Yeah. I don't know about Amen. That's right there. I don't know, but I know for a fact they're winners for one of those.
I love both the Thompson twins as prospects. I hate where they went. I said it last week. I said they shouldn't go to the Rockets or the Pistons because they already have ball-dominant guards, like 3 of them each on the roster. There's no reason for them to be there. I get stacking talent, but at the end of the day, like, if you're going to have 4 ball-dominant guards, how are you actually going to play basketball? But yeah, no other thoughts.
Well, and I mean, how are they going to develop? That's the big thing. Like, you need to develop those guys, and now they can't play in real games effectively because you can't start them or play them, which is just stupid. It's the same thing Philadelphia had with their big men, where they're like, oh, we'll just keep getting big men that are supposed to be really great. And it's like, yeah, you're lucky one of them turned out to be great, but the other one sucked, and maybe they would have been better in a different scenario because they would have had more time to develop, as Nerlens Noel felt. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't disagree with most of what you guys said. I think the Spurs definitely won, but at the same time, that all depends on how good he is.
Yeah.
This could very easily turn into they lost because there's no guarantee this guy's going to be a healthy person playing in the NBA full time. We'll see. Usually, guys like him don't stay healthy and don't stay on the court. I'm hoping he does, so we can actually see his talent because I think his talent is that good. But we'll see. I can't wait to see him get exposed by Jokic, though. That's going to be awesome. I think my sneakiest winner here would be the Pelicans. They took my absolute favorite player, which I am biased to it, but they took Jordan Hawkins, who is, I think, the best pure shooter in the draft. You could argue Grady Dick or some of the other ones there, but he is an absolute stud, I think, and will be just because he gets to come in, and if Zion's healthy, and plays, that's a team that now has phenomenal shooting around him. And I think Jordan Hawkins will develop. I saw him develop at UConn. And he will develop a game that I think will be a little better than what Ray Allen was. Not saying he's going to be better than Ray Allen, but like the overall game, I think will be a little bit better than what Ray Allen had when he was younger. So we'll see if it develops that way over the career. But if he pans out and Zion's healthy, that's going to be a team to watch out for.
Gotcha. So, Jake, I know we talked about this briefly before. Do we want to shift the Big Ten stuff to next week? Any thoughts on that? Just so we can.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to talk about it now. I'll be ready to talk about it next week if we want to shift it.
The draft is tomorrow for the NHL. I think we should definitely talk about that.
Go for it then. Yeah, we'll shift the Big Ten stuff to next week. For those who don't know, the Big Ten had some schedule changes. We'll be covering it next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Jake. So,
got it.
Kyle, so are you going to tell me that Connor Bedard is not getting drafted first overall?
I am not that stupid.
Okay. Well,
although last year, when I was extremely confident at who would go first overall, he ended up going third. He ended up going fourth overall. Well, so who knows?
In all fairness, Kyle, Connor Bedard's been first overall for the last 4 years. So
yes,
since he was 14 years old, he's already been projected that. So, Kyle, I want to give you my top 5 real quick before we go over this. So my top 5 in order. First of all, looking at the draft board, in the top 13 of the draft board I'm looking at, there are 3 people going to BC next year, so that's pretty disgusting. So BC is about to be gross next year. BC game, boys. BC game.
I'm down.
Anyways, absolutely.
So number 1 overall will obviously be Connor Bedard. I don't think it's necessarily close. He's just been the most dominant player, and he continued to show that both in his Regina team as well as in the Canadian youth leagues. And so,
Regina, by the way.
Regina, thank you. I love Regina.
You're welcome.
Moving on, the number 2 overall, it used to be Michkov. For a few years, everyone thought it was Michkov. I actually think Michkov slides back just 1 spot, as Adam Fantilli has absolutely dominated in Michigan this year. I won't say he's unanimous number 2, like Bedard is unanimous number 1, but it's pretty close. I think he's pretty much set.
I think it's like 85-15.
Yeah, it's like pretty set. So it goes Bedard, Fantilli. Then I do think it is Michkov. And then after that, it gets a little suspect, if you will. I'm gonna go with who drafts 4th, Kyle?
San Jose Sharks.
San Jose. Well,
they need everyone.
They need everyone, but they love their centers. So I'm going to go with Leo Carlson at number 4, and then we'll take the best American prospect in Will Smith at number 5. That's where I'm going. So I will go Connor Bedard, Fantilli, Michkov, Leo Carlson, Will Smith in that order. Sounds good to me. That's my guess.
You and I have the exact same top 3. I have seen a lot of people having Michkov drop out of the top 5. For some, I agree. I don't know what is going on. That's what I was thinking. It's so to clarify, it's not just because he's Russian, it's because he's under contract in Russia. There is a difference. So the second biggest hockey league in the world is the KHL, which is based out of Russia. And once you obviously are contracted there, you can't come over to the NHL until your contract is up. There have been a lot of other players that do this from Russia. Ilya Kovalchuk did it. The most notable one currently playing in the NHL is Kirill Kaprizov, who was drafted in 2015 but couldn't join the NHL until 2020 because of his contract in the KHL. So that does seem to be like the biggest red flag with drafting Mishkov.
Kaprizov's by the way.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't think Columbus cares, to be honest, though. Columbus needs a good, solid prospect because they need.
So I think at number 3 is the perfect prospect, regardless.
I
Of
agree.
You get a few more picks over the next couple years, and you bring him in like 2-3 years if that's what you got to do, and bam.
Yeah, exactly. And number 4, I do agree that it's going to be a center. I also agree, but I don't agree on who. I think it will be Will Smith that San Jose chooses. He had insane. The Fresh Prince is coming to play hockey. He had an insane world championship. And he's one of the few that just declared to go play for Boston College. He's been seen as one of the best playmakers in this draft. So I think that's why the San Jose is going to go more that route. And I actually have Leo Carlson dropping out of the top 5 because I don't think Montreal needs
Benson going number 5, huh?
I don't have Zach Benson. I have actually David Reinbacher because I think Montreal's in desperate need of a defenseman.
That's a big jump for what I'm looking at right now. So that'd be a big jump for the boys. So
I agree. I think he's better than Pelika. Pelika. I don't know how to pronounce this guy. Axel Sandin Pelika is what I'm going with.
I think it's Pelika, but I don't.
Pelika.
Who's
I'm sure I'll hear
in this draft, Kyle. That's the most important.
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Well,
probably.
Just know he's going to the University of Massachusetts. Obviously, the Bruins are going to draft him because God knows the Bruins only know how to draft freaking in the top 6 and also goalies. So.
Because you guys totally need another goalie.
They're going to draft him, and then he's going to be a godsend in 2 years when Allmark needs to get traded or something, and it's going to be Swayman and him, and that's what's going to be. So I already just predicted the draft. There you go.
Okay. All right, Nick. Sounds good.
You know as well as I do it keeps happening. When was the last time they missed on a goalie prospect? They've either traded them for value or they keep them for long term.
That is fair. I remember when they traded for Tuukka Rask, which was seen as like the biggest fuck up for Boston sports at the time of the trade, because they traded away Andrew Rakoff to get him. And Andrew Rakoff was seen as like one of the best goalies in the world. They traded Andrew Rakoff to the Maple Leafs, and Rakoff promptly fell off a cliff and proceeded to suck for the rest of his career, which is hilarious.
He is now a Boston reporter. Love the boy Andrew Rakoff. He's awesome.
Andrew Rakoff is an amazing personality. I do love listening to him.
Kyle.
Yes.
Okay, I got something messed up to say real quick. So going back to the Fresh Prince of Beantown, which is what I'm calling Will Smith for the rest of his time in Boston. First and foremost, this dude has 24 total points in his last 10 games and 14 in his last 5. He's nuts. Do you want to know when this man was born?
Isn't it like 2005?
Yeah, that's fucked.
We're old, boys. We're old.
Anyways, point being, Cal. So I like your top 5.
Thank you.
I think there's a few players' names I remember that have been in this area for a while. That does include Zach Benson, Dvorsky, Reinbacher is up there. Ryan Leonard. A few people. There was. Quentin Musty feels like he's fallen off a bit from where he was not long ago.
Yeah,
Callum
he's not
Murchie.
even.
A few of these names like I recognize feel like they've fallen towards the end of the first round. And as a Bruins fan, I'd be happy to get all of them, or just another goalie god, because God knows we know how to draft him. So
I'm really hoping Braden Yeager falls to the Rangers at 23 because he's a stud center, and I'm really hoping that he falls all the way. He's projected like 15 to 20 range right now, so it could happen.
He'll drop even further, and the Rangers won't even grab him. So
yeah, you're right.
The Rangers won't do it.
Anyways,
that you're so right.
I mean, I would say there's a little bit of hot take with Reinbacker going top 5, but other than that, seems we're pretty much on the same page. You have Will Smith going 1 higher, and then Leo Carlson falling. Somewhere in the 6 to 8 range, I'm sure.
Yeah, Leo Carlson was like gonna go. If I were to do like a whole top 10, Leo Carlson was gonna be like 6 or 7.
But we'll see tomorrow, right? That'll be the biggest.
We will.
So it'll be interesting. Now we are just past the hour mark here. What kind of game do you have for us, Kyle?
Well, I've decided to mix it up a little bit, and I decided to put together a little thing based on all of our favorite sports teams. Not really, but like we all love watching sports. That's obviously why we do this. So I wanted to test to see how well you guys know the team's colors.
Okay.
And you guys have to tell me
Is
who.
it specific shades or is it just like colors?
Oh, you will see. Hold on.
Oh god, that means
Well, thankfully, I'm looking
We'll
at Jacob
see.
right now, and that's basically showing off all Patriots.
It's not just our. Hold on, Justin. So, you'll have to wait and see.
No, I know.
Go to the next thing, please. Hello, computer. There we go. Oh, you
It's Notre
Gold,
Dame.
navy green. Do we get NCAA? Wait, so just
It's Notre
Yes.
Dame.
college? It's Notre Dame.
It's not just colleges but I do tell you like what league it is from, so you guys on the same page.
It's Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's Notre Dame.
It is Notre Dame. It is the Fighting Irish. Yes. Next one.
That's the Atlanta Braves.
1 second.
No, Cleveland Guardians.
Okay, are we overlooking the fucking Patriots right now?
It's
This
the
is
MLB.
MLB.
Look at the
I'm a
league,
dumbass.
Nicholas.
It's the MLB.
I'm a dumbass. It's the Guardians.
All right. Well, what's the
Yeah,
consensus?
Wait. Wait, hold on. Let me think.
I think it's the Braves.
No.
The Braves have white.
What,
Yeah,
there is
but they
white.
don't.
There is
have
white
gray.
here.
Yeah, it's the Guardians.
Wait, no, let me think. I don't want to go with Andrew here without thinking. It's not a negative thing. I'm just saying.
No, I still find it funny.
I mean, it could be the Guardians, but I'm sticking with the Braves.
I'm
right.
gonna switch to the Braves here. That's my guess.
Jake and Nick are on the Braves. Andrew's on the Guardians. Austin, Justin, what are you guys thinking?
I'm more of a Braves than a Guardians, but I can see
Braves?
both ends. I see a B out of the red and the blue, and then like a gray and white
Okay.
stripe.
All right, Austin.
The Braves have yellow.
Mm,
You could. Be
I'm
right.
telling you, the
could be
Braves
right,
have
Andrew.
yellow.
You could
The
be right.
Braves have a yellow accent in them. They don't have a gray accent. It's the Guardians.
I'll
Austin?
go Guardians,
Guardians.
I'm willing to be wrong.
but
All right.
I'm willing to be wrong. I don't care.
I'm telling you right. You going Guardians? Final guess, Austin.
yeah, I
It's
think
none
I'm
of it. It's
wrong.
none of it.
I hate to tell you guys, you guys are both all of
Yeah,
you
I
are
was gonna say,
wrong.
I was
That's
gonna say,
It's the Red Sox.
What?
Oh,
I was literally
Yeah, that makes
Kyle. The
sense.
funny
That
thing
was-
is, that's who I was gonna go with, and I was like, okay, well, the Boston fans aren't saying it, so like, it can't be that, right? I
Okay,
can't be
in
right
all
about that.
fairness,
I was
the
wanting to
The
think
gray
it
throws
was.
it off because the gray is not on the logo. It is only in one specific jersey. So that's
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So wait.
guys.
Is this
I mean,
jerseys? Or this is jerseys?
This is from their official colors that the teams use. So whatever the team uses as their official colors, that's what they do.
Yeah,
so
it's the official
it could be on their
colors.
jerseys, it could be on their
Oh, that's so
uniforms,
stupid.
whatever the
It's
team.
I
so
don't associate.
I've
don't
never seen
associate
Notre
it.
Dame wear a green jersey though.
Oh, but it's in the
I've
logo.
never.
I
seen
have.
Go
It's
ahead.
in
It's
the
on their
logo.
logo.
All right, boys.
This is
Next-
Oregon. This is Oregon Ducks. Long. That's like
Yeah.
Is that the
lightning yellow,
consensus?
lightning yellow, apple green, thunder green. That is all Oregon Ducks colors right there.
That's
You
not
know,
good
only
one.
the Ducks would have those types of colors. So yeah, I'll go with Oregon. I'm down.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are.
that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. That's good job. Good job. All right.
Florida, go.
That's the
That's the
Knicks,
Knicks.
right?
NBA.
Sorry, I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Next, that's the New York
You
Knicks.
should on logos instead of just letters, but yeah, it's the Knicks. I'm with you.
It is the Knicks. Yes, that is correct.
Not to crap on you, Kyle. I just
MLS, burgundy, sky blue, silver, onyx. This is
I don't know.
no. This is Colorado Rapids.
Yeah, you guys on the same page there?
I'll go with
I'm
whatever
gonna
he
go with Andrew. I'm
says.
trusting
I'm
Andrew's
gonna guess
knowledge
the
here.
Miami team just for fun.
They're pink.
I don't know.
It is color.
I said it was just for fun. I didn't mean it. I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
NFL
Just
boys.
move
NFL.
on.
Huh, I wonder.
New Century Silver? Wow, like that doesn't give
Move
off
on, it's the
Patriot vibes.
Patriots.
That does not give off any Patriot vibes
All
right
right.
there.
Well, anyway.
That's the Dallas
Dallas
Stars.
Stars.
Move on.
That's the
Dallas
Dallas
Stars. Move
Stars.
on.
All right. boys.
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
Pirates. Move on.
Pirates.
It's the
Oh my
Pirates.
God, Nick.
Move on.
Sand? Did you sand?
It is not the Pittsburgh Pirates, Nick. You are
Guys,
wrong.
San
It is.
Diego.
It is the
That-
They
Padres.
changed their logo recently. That's
Kyle,
You
you
had
didn't give me
given
a
me
chance to
30
say it was
seconds, I
San
could've
Diego. I was
figured
like,
it out.
Sorry,
I was
Austin.
saying sand because I was like, guys, it's sand there. It's not Pittsburgh.
It
First of all,
is
that's
the
hilarious.
Padres.
That's a sand. Those are literally their colors, but it's fine.
There you go.
This is
NBA.
Pacers.
Yeah.
This is Pacers.
Uh,
Navy
Yeah.
gold, white, and gray. This is Pacers.
let me-
Yeah. and-
Hold on, I'm not clicking till everyone, so I don't screw up Austin.
Well,
again.
that's my guess. That's my
Alright.
guess. But like, I
I'm
don't know
with
any
Andrew
other
on that.
team
This
that has
is
navy or
Andrew's
gold in
right.
it.
Yeah.
They're the only. Yeah, they're the only team that wears
ones
gold
that
and
would choose
blue.
no fun colors. They'd go with basic at colors. So yeah, probably Pacers.
Yeah, you guys are right.
The only team that's navy and yellow is the Pacers in the NBA. Bro, what
Ah.
kind of fucking bullshit?
Well,
Is...
Wait,
Wait a
wait.
minute.
Okay, hold on.
Wait a
hold on.
minute.
Is
Wait
this
a
the
minute.
Marlins? That's my first thought. That's not my guess.
This
my first
is
thought.
They have a
No, this
metallic
is
silver and a
Mariners.
uniform gray.
Northwest
Two
green.
different.
this is Mariners.
Is it though?
Northwest green and
This is
fucking-
Mariners.
It's the Mariners.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go with the Mariners.
Yeah.
They have red. I didn't know that, but sure.
I'm pretty sure it's
yeah.
Mariners.
Yeah, all same page.
It's like
Mariners.
it's an accented. It's an
Yeah.
accented
Yeah,
red.
it's the
Yeah,
accent.
red
It's
is
the
right
accent
there,
Yep.
Nick.
That's weird. I've never seen that in my life. Fair enough.
All right, there you go.
And then black.
This is the
Marlins.
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 This is the Marlins.
When you
Hey,
said that,
hey,
Nick, I was
it was
laughing.
so close. If you look back, they're very close.
Well,
to this.
it literally gives away Miami blue.
It does.
Yep.
It does give it away.
Like-
It does
It's
give
like
it away.
looking at the
Well, I
Panthers
love how
and
it
not
says
seeing
Miami
Carolina
blue, Caliente red as well.
NCAA. This is navy, gray, light blue,
UNC
red,
is
and
the
white.
first thing that came to mind. That's probably not right, but it's the first thing that came to mind.
No. This is something completely different. Because UNC doesn't have a navy uniform.
Well, and light blue would be
They
the top one.
do. The horns
But
of
no,
the
but
Tar
no,
Heel
no,
are
no.
navy.
No, but like the
Yeah, but to be fair,
They're powder-
the Tar Heel blue is like a powder blue.
it's a powder blue. It's
Yeah, I don't
they
think
don't
it's
have
the Tar
red.
Heel. It's
They
the
don't have
that
red
fucking-
in their
yeah, it's the
uniforms
red
either.
that-
And that would be number one.
Yeah.
Can I ask for a hint? Can you tell me one sport that they're relevant in? Super relevant in.
Super relevant basketball.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Welcome.
Is it Gonzaga?
No.
Is it Gonzaga?
It is not Gonzaga. That's a good guess, though.
Because they have like the dog collar. I didn't know if there was red in that. I didn't know.
Are they like a big known team? Like are
Yes.
they one of the bigger conf? Okay.
Sure are.
Sure, he says. Imagine it's UConn. Imagine.
It's not.
I-
It's not. UConn doesn't have light blue like that.
And there's no red in it.
Kyle
Well, they
beats
do
me.
have a little
Hey,
red,
it's
but
UConn.
it's not like
No.
Kyle's face is telling me it's UConn.
I was gonna say,
It's fucking
I-
UConn, and I called it. It's fucking UConn. Click the button, Kyle.
yeah, because that's why
It
at
has the
first I
dog.
was
Yeah, it
like,
has the mouth. I fucking knew
in
it.
it's in the mouth. Yep. Okay.
but the light
You
blue's
said
in the
it, I
eyes.
couldn't- I
That's
couldn't-
why.
Kyle, before
I
you
That's
couldn't
even
hide
why.
it.
The light blue was
couldn't
throwing
hide
me
it.
off because of that.
Kyle,
Oh,
put this up, my first reaction was UConn, and I feel like Kyle put this in there, and then I was like, "Where's the red?" And I was really trying to figure out where this red was. Like,
To be
no,
honest-
I was thinking, but I was thinking the light
Yeah.
blue. I was like, UConn doesn't have light blue on
It's in
any
the
of their
eyes.
uniforms.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it was in the
Also,
eyes of the freaking
if
of
you
Jonathan the
have
Husky.
UConn, like the words UConn, I swear it has red in it as well, or something like that. Like
It does. It has
Yeah,
a
it's
red
like
outline.
it's the
Yeah.
it's
For
the
the record,
R or like
That's the fucking
Vikings.
Ravens.
Or wait, like
That's
No,
the
that's
fucking
the-
Ravens.
wait.
Also, for the
Ravens.
record, I was about to say
Ravens.
UConn before I saw Kyle's
Yeah,
face
it's
when Nick
Ravens.
started screaming. It's the fucking Ravens.
My face did give it away 100%.
Yeah.
I couldn't keep it in. What's the
It's the
verdict here?
Ravens.
Okay,
It's the
wait.
Ravens.
I wanna. Okay, yeah. The other it's different for the Vikings. Yeah, it's the Ravens. The
Pelicans.
We are all on the same page, Ravens. Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
Ravens.
Pelicans.
All right.
It's the type of gold, Nick.
There you go.
Black, white, spotlight, gray.
Hold on.
Well, you can
Oh.
fuck with people because their city jerseys are so weird.
Black, white, spotlight.
When
This
they
is
can't just
well,
say
the
black
Warriors.
and white, so they
Warriors
say
had
black
this.
key.
Warriors had this for a color on their jerseys for their newest, like their city jerseys that they had.
I feel like it's
Low-key,
got to be Warriors.
that rose was fire. I did love
Yeah.
that City jersey.
That rose jersey was very nice.
There would
Hold
need
on,
to
Who
be
else
blue
has
for the
yellow?
Warriors, man. There would need to be blue in here for the Warriors.
Who else has yellow?
I don't know.
Pacers.
A ton of NBA
But-
teams use yellow.
Is this isn't the Jazz?
No, there would be a blue in there.
No.
This is a hard one. Eastern or Western Conference, Kyle?
Western.
Western. I don't think it's the Warriors, to be honest, because Warriors would have.
I just feel like it's their city jersey though.
Warriors would have
Unless
blue.
you just.
Warriors would 1,000,000% have blue.
But like, who else has?
Andrew, think about it. It is what the team uses as their official colors.
I know, but I'm trying to just think who in the freaking Western Conference has that.
It's not.
Oh wait, hold on. It's the Spurs.
I will
It's
give you
gotta
guys
be
a
the
hint.
Spurs.
I will give you guys a hint. This team just rebranded to start last season.
Bro, that doesn't help me for shit.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but they
It's
just
okay.
rebranded. So keep that in mind.
Who the hell?
But the Spurs would be the only team that has black, white, and gray like this
No,
as
They
their
don't have any
primary
yellow.
with yellow,
They've never
with an
had
accented yellow, spotlight yellow.
that. They've
I
never
feel like-
had that.
I mean, not if there's a rebrand, then you could change the entire thing.
Did Minnesota rebrand? But that
No,
was-
No,
they're
this
still
isn't-
they're still that dark blue.
They're definitely.
I'm having
It's not LA. It's not any of the LA
Is
teams.
it like the Rockets or something? No, they don't have red.
No,
No.
not the Rockets. Rockets still are red.
Bro, the Warriors are the only team that makes sense, but it's not the fucking Warriors.
But it has to be the Spurs then.
Hold on, no,
Spurs
I'm
are the
gonna
only
be
team with
pissed if we
black,
don't
white,
get
and
this.
gray.
I don't care if we stay here for 10 minutes.
I mean, the Spurs also make sense, Andrew. I don't think you're far off.
I don't think
If not correct by saying the
I've
Spurs.
seen 1,000,000 Spurs jerseys in the last fucking week because of Victor Wembanyama, so I didn't see any yellow.
I'm not disagreeing.
But I'm wondering if it's part of their city jersey though.
Dude.
I'm wondering if it's part of their official colors because they used to use it.
Nick, remember,
Yeah.
there was blue and we didn't think of it for the Red Sox, so Andrew could be right.
I'll let him go with the Spurs. I think it's wrong, but I'll let him go with the Spurs. Go ahead, Kyle. I can't.
What? Yeah, Spurs. Everyone says
I think
Spurs.
we're all
Everyone
going
say
Spurs here.
but I don't really
I will say
Yeah.
Spurs is incorrect. It's the
Okay.
Utah Jazz.
Son of a bitch. I knew we were gonna think about it if we just sat there for a second. and-
Why isn't that blue? That makes no
Because
fucking
they
sense.
changed it.
rebranded. They
rebranded
changed it.
Oh my
But
god.
that spotlight
Yeah.
yellow doesn't make sense. They have too much of an orange in it,
Yeah.
and that like that's so stupid.
Okay,
Uh,
this is
sh-
bullshit because this could be like 8 fucking teams. It could be the Rangers, could be the Blue Jackets, it could be
Could be the Avalanche.
no, it's not
Capitals.
Avalanche. Avalanche is a darker blue. Could be the Capitals. Just go with the Capitals. It's red, white, and blue.
I like the
if
Capitals.
it's any other, wait, they have gray. They have gray in their fucking logo. Wait a second. Hey, Kyle, you're really,
Yes.
really cute. Can I see your nose really close?
My nose. Yes. Here you go.
Yeah, thank
You
you.
wanna see my-
Yeah,
It's-
I just go. With
It's
the
a lighter
Rangers.
shade of red.
No, it's not. Just go with the Rangers. It's either Rangers or Capitals. I don't know. This is the
Yeah.
BS one because it's red, white, and blue. I don't know. It's either Rangers. Or
Yeah. What do you get? Rangers.
Just go
Ran-
for it. Just
Rangers
fucking go
cap.
for it.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's the Canadians.
Yeah. See, look, there's like 8 teams.
That literally
I
is
said
that
the Blue
big.
Jackets. Like that's bullshit. That's a bad.
Blue Jackets have gray.
That's fine. There you go, boys.
The
Here's your
That's
Panthers.
the
move
Penguins. That's the Penguins.
Yeah.
I said
Panthers?
Penguins. I said Penguins. That's what I meant to say. Penguins,
You
move on.
totally said Panthers.
I know Penguins. Move on.
I would have
You
said
know what's
Bruins.
Justin, you say that. I did a test run with Riley earlier today, and she immediately said Penguins before Bruins, and I go,
It's
really?
the gold, dude. It's not the right shade.
That's true.
I-
that's
I
true, it's
swear
yellow.
that's the
It's
right
like
shade.
mustard
No, it's
yellow.
not the right shade.
Whatever.
It
Anyway,
looks
I
it.
bet you loved putting
Huh.
the logo on here, huh? Okay.
I did it. I tried to stump you, boys. That's why I did it.
NFL. Giants.
Patriots.
We already had.
We already did the Patriots.
I'm
Giants.
kidding.
The fucking.
Hey, trick question. It's the Patriots again.
That would
It's
be
the
fun.
Giants. No.
It's the
Yeah.
Giants. Those
I was really
ugly-ass
hoping he
helmets.
wasn't
would
gonna
be
do
fun.
that.
New England Revolution.
That's the
No.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
probably not.
Wait,
Does
Kyle-
No.
I don't think the Revolution has
Kyle
yellow.
said
No.
yes, Kyle said yes.
No. 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 This is St. Louis.
I don't know, man.
I don't know if I
City
City
can.
red, river blue, white,
Just trust
energy
what
yellow.
Go ahead. It's either St. Louis.
Yeah.
I feel like it's St. Louis. It's
It,
gotta be
it,
St.
it
Louis.
is St. Louis.
Sure.
Good job, Andrew.
I didn't know, man. I just said the Revs.
Green, white, black, and gray.
Michigan State. That's my first thought. Thoughts?
Plymouth.
That would be
I
funny.
mean, it could be Plymouth State,
It's gotta be
but
It
That
is
would be
college.
funny. What?
It's got to be Michigan
What'd you say?
State, right?
Could be.
bro, that'd be fun.
I'm gonna go shits and giggles and say Plymouth.
Yeah, I'm going for Michigan State.
It's not the right green, but I know. I'm just gonna
Michigan
say it.
State, yeah. You guys are on the same page.
It's
Sure,
a-
whatever.
I feel like that's the Tulane green wave.
Hey, Justin. Good
Oh,
job.
yeah, fuck yes.
Good
Wow,
job.
that's ridiculous.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
I wish I asked you what sport they were relevant in. 'cause
You
you'd
should
had to
have. I
say
was waiting for
us.
it.
You would have had to have said it.
I would have said hockey too, but that's fine.
That's
There-
genius, by the way.
Not relevant,
oh,
80. How's
hey,
about
come
that?
Ser-
It's the Seattle Sea Dragon.
Seattle Sea
Hey,
Dragons, guys.
There it is. Good job, boys.
Nice job, nice job. That was
I
fun.
like
it,
Kyle.
Kyle.
That was
That's
fun.
fun.
Those are good
Thank
ones,
you.
for sure.
My favorite is them not knowing Boston.
Okay, did anyone have?
I would have never
anything
known that. I
else?
don't
Yeah,
want
the
to think
I
that.
have the gray jersey, and that's the only gray I've ever seen. I don't even wear those anymore. So,
It was the
anyone
blue
else
that
have any
fucked
other
me up.
topics they want to talk about on stream?
I do want to say while we were doing the episode, a trade did happen in the NHL. Tyler Toffoli did just get traded from the Flames to the New Jersey Devils. So I'm gonna be miserable every time the Rangers play the Devils
Oh
next
wow,
year.
the Devils are building some over there, huh? Anyways,
Yeah, they are.
well, that's
Fortunately.
very interesting. Anything else? Any other topics today?
Think we're good.
Great. Well, it was a pleasure having everyone watch us today. We do thank you for your time and your patience and listen to us on episode 70, even though I wrote 60, even though I thought I changed it to 70. Anywho, I do hope everyone has a great rest of your week. Make sure to go check, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out the socials in the description, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.